All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem HaKodash. We say Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Bahashem HaKodash. And we give double honor to our apostles and our elders, which apostle elders a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai, 2025, which is the hope year of our deliverance and the judgment and the destruction of Esau. Let's jump right into this video. The title of this video is The Curses Don't Care About Status. Terence Crawford held at gunpoint. All right. The curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, do not care about status. Okay. And it will pursue us. This shows you right here that this man is an Israelite. All right. Because after he has accomplished a great feat in what you call the world, he's held at gunpoint, you know, and that's a humbling thing right there. The Lord chose to humble him on this one. You know, it could have got real sticky real quick, and he's gonna, you know, speak about that in some of these videos. But the main point is that the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, which have been put on you Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, need to be assessed and watched, man. All right, this man was held at gunpoint right after he won a world championship. He beat one of the great fighters out right now in his rankings. All right, so to show you the curses don't care what belt you got, what status you got, they still gonna come for you. That's why the only way out, the only way really to find rest, that's why it says come and rest with us. And we're telling you, Jakes, that hey, there's no way out of these curses but through the gate of Yahweh Shai, through Yahweh Shai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Okay. We don't like to frame that, but for the reference for everybody to know who we're speaking of, that's the Messiah, okay? His real Hebrew name is Yahweh Shai, okay? He is a deliverer. He's a deliverer, okay? Same name as Joshua. All right, but what we're at now is giving you this information and telling you that you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are spread out through the four corners of the planet Earth have been placed under a punishment, which are the curses that was prophesied to happen in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. So this is a breadcrumb that I always say is a breadcrumb for you to find your way back home, because you were going to lose your identity, lose your status as the people of Yahweh, people of God, and be turned into these bywords and proverbs, okay? These bywords which are not your identity, okay? So these right here to show you the example, he was treated just like a Negro off the street. And if he would have moved and done something too much, he might have lost his life out there, man. Okay. Whatever you do, it's better with a website from Hostinger. It's time to bring your ideas to
Stepping out. Seatbelt
purposes only. All right, so let's go ahead and play this.
Stepping out. Seatbelt.
Step out.
I'm opening the door.
You can take
I'm
mine
opening the
off
door.
of me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro.
Step out.
Can I move my phone?
Step out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All that serious? You actually gun is all that necessary? You serious? This one, yeah, dude. If you serious? Yeah, not that deep.
So now let's go back to here, let's play this.
Cop comes to my window. Cop goes to Bud's window. I know the protocol. Bud said, well, how do you know I was speeding if you don't have radar? Okay. Bud actually have the cop on camera saying I admit that I do not have radar. Bud said, I have a firearm too. The cop on his side went ballistic, totally unhinged. He says, get your hands up, get out the car, don't reach. But there was never a physical gun in sight. Everyone thought we were gonna die, man. He said, no, I don't have it on me. I left everything at home. He had already told them, so there was no reason for him to reach for nothing. As soon as he said he had a firearm, the police officer that was on his side became unhinged. He never see a pistol, he never see a firearm anywhere. They didn't even see the firearm on me because of the way I was positioned in the vehicle. There was no reason cops who had drawn guns on us. That no matter how prepared you are, no matter how calm you are, if you run into a rogue police officer who wants to escalate, then he's going to escalate. To be a man who can receive his second key to the city and have a firearm pulled on him by the Omaha Police Department all in the same day. Imagine that. Man, I thought we were getting ready to lose our lives. Oh man, it was terrible. It was terrible. That was a nightmare. You know,
You hear what he said?
future husband, prepared you are, no matter how calm you are, if you run into a rogue police officer who wants to escalate, then he's going to escalate. To be a man who can receive his second key to the city and have a firearm pulled on him by the Omaha Police Department all in the same day. Imagine that. Man, I thought we were getting ready to lose our lives. Oh man, it was terrible. It was terrible. That was a nightmare. You know, future husband, just had a brand new child, and
you see this guy. This guy has a Pan-African sticker on his vest. I just noticed that.
you know, children and, you know, and stuff like that. And to know that I almost lost my life last night because we had a police officer that don't know how to articulate a traffic stop.
We are in agreement that the city of Omaha Police Department owed Terence Bud Crawford a long explanation, apology, and forceful action. So get this, Crawford owned security that was with him all day long. He was like Crawford's shadow, protecting him all day long during the parade. After the celebration, where Crawford himself, his family, and his team were held at a gunpoint in Omaha. Crawford owned security, you guys heard him. He came out stating that he was fearful for his life. He was terrified and he's shooken up by this experience till now. Mind you, this is Crawford's security. Just imagine how Crawford felt. Crawford's security had one job, and it's in the title. He was there to protect Crawford. Crawford obviously had the Ring magazine belt that was all gold, among other things. This was Omaha who threw the parade to celebrate Crawford. Not just the face of Omaha, but the face of boxing himself, Bud. Bringing hope to the city, bringing a positive impact to the city, bringing you can do it too type of energy to the city. After the parade, it turned out Crawford didn't need protection from thefts and robbers. Nah, it turned out that Crawford needed protection from the Popo, as they almost got him killed. Would you believe that? To make matters worse, Crawford owns security that's there to protect him. They needed protection. That's how bad it was. How you gonna have security and still end up at a gunpoint? Really, what's the point of security at that point? Remember, the key to the city here, Crawford was actually following orders. He didn't refuse to do anything. However, the cop still had his finger on the trigger. Bud was inches away from getting killed, from getting his life taken away from him for no reason whatsoever. Imagine if Bud was being a little bit resistant by standing up for his rights. He probably wouldn't even be here right now. God forbid. And that's my point exactly. Do you guys know where Bud left before he got stopped by the cop? He left the party with the mayor of the city. I'm not talking about when Crawford received a second key to the city. He was given two, not just one. I'm talking about the after party. Crawford was partying with the mayor of the city still. When he left, they treated him just like another black man. For the people that keep asking, what
See that? That's the most important part of this. Treated him just like another black man. So let's get this precept. And the Lord done it. I just read this in the passage. It says what? I create light and create darkness. I, the Lord, do all these things. So Terence Crawford should realize that, guess what? It don't matter how, he's at the pinnacle of boxing. He's at the pinnacle of his craft. And he should feel that he made it, just like the guy said, is that he came and showed you the example of getting out of the trenches, bucking up your bootstrap. But no, this man's the devil. They don't give a fuck about who and what status you have. But the main thing is that these curses are on us. The only way out is through Yahbashim Yahushai, truly. That's why it says, come and rest with us. Okay, this is the book of Amos 3 and verse 6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord has not done it? Okay, so all these things are created by the Most High. The Lord preserved his life, but it was a stark reminder that, hey, you under the curses, man. You under the curses. So let's get that to show you. This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 45. It says in the NLT, if you refuse to listen to the Lord your power and to obey in the commandments and decrees he has given you, all these curses will pursue and overtake you until you are destroyed. See? So these curses are on us. That's showing you right there. He was probably driving a nice vehicle. He was feeling on cloud nine, just received the key to the city, and this took place, man. That cop didn't realize that he was pulling over a key to the city recipient. There's nothing that cop could have done in his life, maybe save some people, that would have what does it say, allotted him a key to the city. But he treated that man like he was another Negro, because in his eyes he was. Okay, that's showing you that there's no escape here. We have a certain dwelling place. This is not our rest. This is not our rest, man. It's polluted. It will destroy you, man. Hold on, let me get that real quick. What does it say? This is not our. Okay, hold on. This is not our. See, we're telling you, and Brett Crawford, he has to realize that, hey, you under the curses because you were Israelite. That's why you have these talents and you're able to be such a magnificent boxer, because you have the blood of Yahbashim Al-Shai through the promise of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, you're an Israelite. This is Micah 2 and verse 10, and it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. And what's it mainly polluted with? Not just carnally and physically, it's spiritually polluted. It's a wicked place. You were brought here in slavery to serve hardcore bondage. You had your back whipped. You had your livelihood taken away. You were put into bondage. All these things were to show you that you were put under the punishment. But we are telling our people that the Lord has taken us out of this punishment through his son, which he sent on that cross. Now we're in the process. We're in the, we have a probate. We made bail. We made when you go to you're getting ready to be taken out of jail, okay? But we're still in jail waiting for our release date. And the release date, nobody knows the day or the hour. So we just have to keep waiting. That's why it says we're prisoners of hope. This is Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. Okay? NLT, it says, up, be gone. This is no longer your land and home, for you have filled it with sin and ruined it completely. Amplified, arise and depart, because the captivity is inevitable. For this land is not the place of rest, because it is defilement that brings destruction, and painful and terrible destruction. See? But we telling our people that this is the cure to it. See? There remain. See, this is the book of Hebrews 4 and verse 9. And it says, there remaineth therefore a rest to the people of Yahweh. So there remains a rest. What is the rest? The land that will be taken to after the deliverance from Babylon the Great. Okay, if we're set to be delivered as one of the elect, 144,000 and the 1/3 of the Lord's chosen, then we will be taken and we'll be put back into our land. Okay, so there remain a full and complete Sabbath rest for the people of Yahweh, which is the Israelites. Okay. So the same thing David said, till I entered into the house of the Lord, I found rest for my soul. I'm paraphrasing. But the main point is that Terence Crawford was shown that, hey, you still under the curses, man. You know, and even just like it says here, even his security was scared, man, because he is Israelite too. Okay, and he had Issachar and he had Judah and Ephraim. He had the Latin tribe as his security team, and they were shook. Okay, these men are trained to be security, and they felt the type of way. So to show you, man, hey, we in that time, and for you Israelites, come back to the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the law, statutes, and commandments. But the main thing is to have faith in Yahweh Shai and knowing that he's set to deliver us from this wicked place. So Lord wants that to find lesson with that. I'm gonna leave it there. I say call hello Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Hakodash. Until the next time, I say Shalom, and more now than ever, keep faith. Shalom.